Okay, hello YouTube. Welcome to the live stream. So this is Coding Viewers Ideas in Roblox Studio number 3. So this is the third time we're doing this. If you haven't seen the others, I would recommend go watching those first. Well, no, stay here. Stay here if you're live, but watch those sometime if you guys want. But in these videos, we look at this list of ideas we've got from the live chat. And we're just going down this list and, well, making this in Roblox Studio. So the next one we have is NPC Boss. I'm actually looking down this list and thinking, oh man, we've got kind of hard ideas coming up. Like the crafting system, the seek-based chase tutorial. Like, we're getting to some hard things, and then there's a requirement door, which will take like probably 5 seconds. But what's up, Waleed? First time in the live. Nice. Welcome to the live stream. So the first thing we're going to do is just wait for a little bit and wait for people to join in if they need to. But let's look at what we have right now. It's the NPC boss, which is the next to do. And I'm going to think a little bit of what we're going to do for that. I'm guessing we could make like a big, like the NPC could be really big. It could have like different, maybe even a different phase, like, you know, how bosses sometimes change their battle tactics halfway when their health reaches half health. What's up, Mr. Doman? How's it going, Doman? Welcome to the live stream. And yeah, we'd have different phases. I'm probably going to use this rig to make the enemy, or the NPC boss. This might take a little bit longer than people would want, though. Yeah, the HP is going to be pretty high. Well, this would have to be a boss that typically multiple people would probably want to battle. But I'm going to get right into it then. So I have a file open, but I'm going to create a new one. And the first thing I'm going to do is go into the avatar, create a rig. I guess the first thing actually I'm going to add a text to the stream so people know when they come in what I'm currently working on, and we are working on NPC boss. And make that visible and a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. So let's make an avatar. Did I already make an avatar? Or I guess a dummy. Go to avatar, rig builder, R15. We could make it my avatar. That would be interesting. But let's just make it a block avatar. Get a little rig up here and let's resize him so he's a little bit bigger. He's going to be an evil NPC boss. Can rename him just so that, boom, boss. Let's go into his humanoid and change his health a little bit. So I assume that the player's health would be somewhere around 100, so like 1000 sounds like a good chunk of... Oh, you can't do that? Oh, is there... Oh yeah, max health option first. Change max health to 1000 and then change the health to 1000 as well. Hey, what's up, Bot Omega? Make mutant? Need a little bit more context on the mutant part. Anyways, we have the boss here and the health is set. What I'm going to do is create some battle logic for him, so he'll have probably different phases for what health he's at, probably just 2 different phases. I think sometimes the bosses kind of look a little different when the phases hit the next one, but I'm just going to probably have his name tag change. Let me think for a second here. the logic is going to be pretty modular, so it's going to be inside the boss himself. Let's add a script to him and call this boss logic, I guess. He will have different attacks. So one attack I'm thinking of is he'll jump, and then when he lands, it sends a shockwave. That would be an interesting attack. And then the basic melee attack if he gets too close to you. And I'm trying to think of another one. Maybe like he throws really big projectiles at you. But other than that, hopefully the video and the voice is doing just fine on the stream. I believe it is. Okay, so let's get into this boss logic here. So I am going to create some module scripts as well within this script. I'm going to put it as children to the big script. So we have boss logic that's going to be controlling, and then we're going to have all these different smaller logic pieces, which will be the module scripts. One of them can be like the different phases, I guess. So first phase. And this will just have the logic for the first phase. It can have first phase attacks, which I will say is the jumping high and doing a shockwave, and then just the typical chasing people and meleeing them to death. So let's create a function. And it will be called, let's see, how do we even make the boss jump? Like, is there can we activate the jump of a humanoid? I feel like there might be a way. I don't think it's just a local script thing in players. I'll have to check that though. Function, shock wave, I guess. This is going to be a little bit harder than I think people expected this to be, because a boss is, I mean, I could have just made a harder humanoid dummy to kill than like my enemy NPC tutorial, but that wouldn't really be boss-y, would it be? So the shockwave, he would jump, hit, there would have to be some, either just a typical delay of he jumps and wait 4 seconds. That wouldn't be good. We would need to check to see if the boss is on the ground or not, and when he hits, probably using either ray tracing or just on touch, I guess. Let's first actually just try to get him to jump. So in this script, rather than using this module script, I'm just going to try to get him to jump. I'm going to put this script into the humanoid. That'll be easier. I'm going to make a variable called humanoid, and it's just going to be a script.parent. This one idea will take probably longer than an hour, but you know, the whole goal of this live stream is to go through this list one by one and to not be scared by any of the options, so I will keep on going at it. So the humanoid, I feel like it has a, is there anything jumping? Jump? If true, the humanoid will jump. Okay. If we set that to true, does that make him jump? I haven't tried this before, so I am curious to see if this will work or not. Let's see. Oh! He jumped really high. But yes, that did work. And that was about as high as I'd want him to jump if he was supposed to have like a shockwave when he lands. So that's actually perfect. Now to let us know when he lands on the ground, I don't want to rely on touch, but we might have to, Or it could be a ray cast. But I'm unsure to let the boss know when he's falling rather than jumping, because if we use ray casting, it could see the ground before he's actually left the ground. Not sure. So I feel like we could do on touch. I'm not sure how that would react though to the ground, but I guess the first thing we need to do is see what happens. So what would touch the ground? That would be his feet. That's unfortunate. I don't like working with the feet of models because there's a right foot and there's a left foot. So which one do you choose? Do you choose both? Do you choose only one? Which one touches the ground? Never know. Could add a sensor to him, but that would actually be one of the better ideas. Oh, also, what do we determine the ground? Like, there could be other parts in your game that isn't, base plate. I can't check for base plate, but can't check for base plate. Has to be pretty module. Should be able to be put into anywhere. So let's just, the humanoid dot floor, right? Or material, floor material. And we can see if that changes or not. Let me see what that looks like when we have the humanoid jump. So let's set a function here, or let's connect to an event. Humanoid property, get property change signal, floor material, connect function. And this will run when the floor material changes. And let's just print out floor material and see what we have. Hey, what's up, Leo's Soccer World? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. So let's run this real quick. And so it changed to plastic because that's what the base plate is. And when he jumps, it changes to air. And when he lands again, it is changed to plastic. So I guess what we could do is just check to see if he's in the air, or wait until he's not in the air. Interesting. I wonder what it would do. So if we put in a variable local last floor material, so we can see what it's changing from, and then if last floor material equaled enum dot material floor, or no, air, then he is going from air to the ground, probably, most likely, hopefully. If it's seen as floor material, I'll just assume that means he landed. Now, I'm not sure if his floor material will change like crazy while he's running. So maybe I should, before doing this, I should check and make sure that doesn't happen too often. Or maybe I could just set it for when he jumps. It has a certain amount of time until that effect doesn't happen when he goes from the air to the floor. Yeah, the series will never end if I do everyone's suggestions, but that is the idea, and that is what I'm going to do. So if the last floor materials is equal to air, then we know that he landed. Else he's jumping. If the floor material is equal to air, then he's jumping. And so we have the boss here. He'll jump, land, and I just want a big shockwave to appear at his feet. So this is where the shockwave would happen, within this if statement right here. Hello, cool typer. Make an energy surge move next. To fight the boss. Okay. Explain a little bit what you mean by energy surge. Like, does this a shockwave appear from you as the player? Because my idea is that the boss will jump, land, and a shockwave will appear underneath his feet. I know I can stream in Twitch. I don't like Twitch. Why do I keep pressing that? Oh, yes. Like, okay. Can see if that works. The whole energy search thing. So, let's first get the shockwave from the feet of the boss to appear. That, I would say, is just going to be a part that's getting resized bigger. It's going to be a union. Let's get out a cylinder and resize it to be where I want it to start. Why is the bounding box not appearing? Do I not have that set? Where would I set that? I swear I would never turn that off. View wireframe. No, that's not it. Well, that's going to annoy me like crazy. Selection style, bounding boxes. There we go. Found it. That's crazy. Use player's mouse position. Ooh, that's a little. So this is the shockwave that's going to appear from his feet. I could just make it solid, but let's make it a little bit more fancy and make it a hollow in the middle. All we're going to do is change the inside cylinder that I resized to be the negate of a union, and then select them both and union them together to make this little ring. And this is just going to be at his feet. Well, it's just visually here. It's not actually going to be at his feet when we put it into the server, or put it. Oh yeah, if we want it in the server storage, that just makes things a little bit more annoying, but that might be the easiest option. Oh dear, I clicked a button. I shouldn't have clicked that button. I don't know what I did. Close. Whatever. I'll just leave that open and continue over here. Let's, just for visual sake, I want to see it in the middle, actually. On below his feet. Close enough. And then what I'm thinking is that it will just resize, you know, both X and Y, and then make the shockwave like this and go more transparent the farther it goes. Yeah, we're going to make this neon. That is a good idea. Let's make the material. Why is this material manager? I hate that thing. You used to be able to just select the material up here. Now I have to go do it in the properties tab. Let's make this neon. White is fine for right now. If we need to resize this differently, we can. Yeah, the height's not going to probably change when it's getting resized. But we're going to use tween logic. So I'm going to try to just make this within the script and not focus on the module script right now. The shockwave, we have it. We didn't even name it yet. Let's rename this union to shockwave. And then we're going to just, we can either parent this to the server script service, or we can parent it to, it makes more sense to parent it to the server storage, not script service, goodness, the server storage. And it's just going to be within the server storage. I would probably have it in a folder of some kind, but since this isn't a full game, we can just set it in there for right now, and we can always change the location later. Boss logic shockwave is equal to game.serverstorage.shockwave. We're just going to clone it as well. Right there. Will there be a death screen? I'm not going to make a death screen for this little, not little, but this tutorial. That could be another idea, though, if you want, that I can add to the list of things to do in the future. We have a pretty long list, so, yeah, it would be interesting game to play if this was a full game. Someone had the idea of I should take all these ideas and make a game out of it, which I thought was actually a pretty fun idea because we got a big list here of things to do. Like we already created all these things in past live streams, and then doing this for a full game, it would actually be interesting. Some of these things are going to be deleted because I think they're just jokes, but... So, we have this the code that runs when he lands, so we're just going to take the... we're going to take the shockwave. We're going to first, we're just going to set its location to be right at the foot of our boss. Not sure how low it has to be compared to its humanoid root part, but that's something we can get fixed later if it's not right. A placement system. Ooh. That's a good idea. Something that I've wanted to make for so long, but never had the motivation to make. Cool Tyler with the idea of... what was it? It was the... Sorry, 1 second. Like a gun that shoots massive laser. Okay. So we have the shockwave. We're going to set its C-frame to humanoid.parent, find first child, humanoid root part. That's actually going to be a variable up here. I'm just going to call this the root. And this is a part. This is also a union operation. So shockwave.cframe is equal to root.cframe minus vector3.new 0, 4, 5, 6, 8 studs, maybe? Maybe he's 16 studs tall. Is the boss going to be moving around? Yes, it is. Idea from I create, make a fort grenade. I know what a grenade is. I don't specifically know what a fort grenade is, but do you mean like Fortnite, or just is there actually something called a fort grenade? But I will put it down. Fort grenade. Okay. So let's see where that places the shockwave first. I guess I need to set last floor material to being humanoid floor material here. And let's see what happens. It's a grenade, it's Fortnite. It builds a fort? Like it's a grenade that doesn't... Oh, did I not parent it to the workspace? I did not parent it to the workspace, did I? I was like, where did it go? It creates a fort, huh? That's interesting. I don't play Fortnite if you couldn't tell. Boss, will you jump? Oh dear. That's not the right direction now, is it? And every time he oh, that's actually really cool. Every time he landed on it, it set it back, its location back to below it. So then this happened. This is actually interesting. Oh dear. Oh, well, I ruined it. Anyway. Let's make sure that the C frame is set correctly. So we need to now, I guess, ooh. We need a, the root C frame, maybe, ooh, I have an idea. How about get its position instead? Local target position equals this. And the C frame is going to be C frame dot look at target position plus shockwave dot C frame dot look vector. And let's see if that works, because it's already horizontal as we have it right now. So its look vector should already be correct. No, that did not work, did it? That did not work at all. So the right vector, let's try that. Oh yeah, I do need to put the can collide to false. That is true. But let's see if that is not correct. Okay. Let's maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Maybe my thought process isn't right. But let's just try this one last time. First, let's go and, as you said, let's turn off the can collide. Where is can collide? Oh, there it is. It's already rotated horizontally on the server, so I thought it would, yeah. Oh, I also need to anchor it. Forgot about that. But that also wasn't correct. So how about this? Target position, and then we need an up, I guess. So target position dot how about, no, I can't. Ooh, this is gonna be, how about vector3 dot new 010. Let's see what this does. I think that should do the same thing, but I'm just going to try to test the other ideas. I should make the wait less so we don't have to wait for him to jump. Where'd he go? It's here, right? Shockwave. Where is it? The position is negative. Oh. Well, that's not good. Why would that be? I had it anchored, right? Yeah. Let's put it into the workspace for right now. Anchor it. And then just... maybe I can just set the position. Maybe I don't have to set the C-frame at all. I didn't think about that. But I just want to see what happens again, because for some reason it just disappeared. Question mark? Just went away. Try it again. Yeah. It's like going to the nether or something when it spawns. So position is going to be set instead. Yay. Target position is going to be all that matters. C-frame doesn't matter at all, since it's already in the right rotation. Let's try it again. There we go. Look at that. Needs to be a little bit lower, but that's exactly kind of what I was looking for here. So let's do 10. Let's just get it as low as it needs to be. Oh, that's just a stud too short. So once more, let's 0.5. That should do the trick. One last check. There we go. It's on the floor. Shockwave appears. Now the next thing we need to do is make it expand and then disappear. Yeah, so we're going to be changing the transparency and the size of the shockwave. Let's go into the boss logic. I'm going to delete first phase. Let's get tween service. Which we will use to resize. Hey, how long have I been scripting? I've been scripting for 5 years now in Roblox Studio. 6 years scripting in any language, if you don't count Scratch, I guess. If you count Scratch, then I've been scripting for 10 years. Yeah, it's been a while. Don't have too much to show for it game-wise. Like the problem with me is that when I try to create a game, I always lose interest halfway through, and then it just never gets finished. So we have tween service. We're going to resize it. So we have the shockwave, and it's in its small. Actually, let's not clone this. Let's make this easy on ourselves in the future and create a new one here. I'm just going to call it shock. And shock is our new shockwave. What's up, Clipper? Welcome back to the stream, Clipper. Ooh, we've got a decent amount of people in the stream right now. That's very cool. We're actually really close to hitting 1,200 subscribers. We're like 4 off. It's gonna be a party. There's no such thing as being too late to the live stream. Yeah, mostly Roblox, cool Tyler, but I've tried to make games outside of Roblox, which doesn't tend to go too well. Usually working with like Unity physics and stuff never goes well for me. Anyway, so we're going to get the tween service to tween this shockwave. So tween service, create tween, right? Create? Oh, it's just create. And we're going to take our shock. Oh, I also need to rename these variables to be addressing the clone. Shock is the thing we're tweening. The tween info, I'm just going to create it within here. It's just going to be a 1 second tween for right now. And then we have the goal or the property table. Transparency is going to be set to 1. And what else? The size. What size is it right now? It's 1. No, that's not the right size, is it? Oh, it is 188. So size is just going to be equal to vector3 dot new 1 20 20. So that's going to be like the distance from how far he can hurt with the shockwave, I guess. We could make that a variable at the top just so that we can change it easily in the future. Shock wave length. That doesn't change how fast it goes, but just how long the shockwave is, I guess. And it's all one line, which doesn't look the best, but stays on the screen. Who suggested NPC boss? Good question. They put a lot of work on me here. So let's press the play button. And ta-da. Oh, I'm dumb. We didn't actually play it. Now it doesn't fit on the screen anymore. That sucks. We gotta play the tween. That will actually make it expand and go transparent at the same time. It'll take a second for it to expand and go completely transparent. See the shockwave? Look at that. That actually looks really good, but that's not as far as I expected it to look. So let's make this 100. The 1 second seemed like a good length of time. When the tween ends, we're going to want to destroy. We're going to want to destroy the shock. Shock is going to disappear. Jump and boom! Look at that. That might have been too fast or too far. Let's make this 80 and set the length of time it takes to do it is 2 seconds. Let's try this again. A lot of playtests in here. Can I jump? Oh yeah, you can dodge that one. That looks right. So that's what he's going to do. So I think if he jumps multiple times, it should work to handle that. So let's try that and make him jump twice. I mean, logically it should, but you never know. There can always be a bug that happens if you try it twice. So it's always safe to try it twice. Boom. Yep. Okay, you can jump it. That seems about right for how it will look. And so awesome. That does especially the looks of it. Usually I think some people would make the visual aspects happen on the client, but since we need to anyway check to see if someone gets hit by the shockwave, and it's not going to be just like a cylinder, because if you're inside the shockwave, like, you're only going to get hit if you touch the edge of the shockwave. If you're in the center of the shockwave, you're not going to get hit. That's why a union is perfect, because it actually takes in consideration, it doesn't just take the bounding box area when it sees if it touches someone. It actually, you can make the logic look, and because since we made it a hollow cylinder, if we're inside the hollow part, it won't say we touched it. Boss logic. Where is our shockwave? Here it is. We should make sure that the collision fidelity is precise. Just so that we make sure that it doesn't approximate where the volume of the shockwave, so it doesn't hit us if we're in the inside of it. Hello, Zaid Facebook. Do a script that every time you type FX, you will be dead. Oh my. Yes, that is an idea. And as I said, all ideas are welcome. So Zaid Facebook, I'm just going to add that. I don't think that's really needed, but if Facebook, what does F6 do? What do you have against F6? Let's continue. Let's actually make the shockwave kill now. So how do we do that? That is the question. Let's actually add the script into the shockwave itself, because when the shockwave is sent from server storage to the workspace, any scripts inside it will run at that time when it hits the workspace. So since we're cloning the shockwave, we don't have to worry about having the script manipulate the shockwave itself, since we're just going to clone a new one that hasn't been manipulated afterwards. So that's why we also destroy the shockwave we create. Local shock equals script dot parent. That's not how you spell shock. There you go. Shock dot. Let's just do a touched. Let's just try it. I'm gonna try it. If it's too hard to dodge, then we're going to do a different strategy. But let's just say this. Let's see if this works. Hey, see you later, cool Tyler. It was good to see ya. Do you think I'll ever, before you leave, do you think I'll ever quit Roblox scripting? Maybe only, oh, I was hit. Maybe if I find a different place that has better No, probably not. Let's just, a simple answer, no. I like Roblox. I like how it works. Hey, what's up? Dev Run Rick. How's it going? Ooh, Clipper R2 with an idea. I hope this isn't too hard, but can you make an infinitely generating stairs? Ooh, that's actually a really good idea. I like that idea. I like that idea. I have, you know, just thinking about it, I can think of an idea for that. Clipper R2, infinite. I can think of 2 ideas. Now, would you want it to make it so that if you turned around, you're still at the bottom of the staircase, to make it like a Super Mario 64 deal where it's like you feel like you're going up the stairs, but then when you look back, you haven't progressed at all? Or do you actually want someone to continue forever and never end the staircase? But either way, that is a great idea that I find interesting. So here's our boss. So let's just make sure that I can jump it now. If I can't jump the shockwave, that means it's too hard. Okay, I jumped it. So I think this is fair enough that if I can jump it, then people should be able to jump it as well. It didn't show that I got hit, so I need to make sure that the shockwave is working correctly just standing now if I'm right here. Yeah, I was hit. What if I'm standing right next to him? No, that doesn't. Did the shockwave even happen? I don't think it did. Is it because he landed on me? No. I set it to land on anything, I think. If I'm right here, I get hit. But what if I'm right here? And I think the shockwave should go. Yeah, the shockwave doesn't hit. So I should make an extra check to make sure that you're not just right there. Right. If you're that close to him, you should be hit. Like, there's no question. Make a rocket launcher by Boy RBLX Games. Make a rocket launcher that does -20. Wait, is that -20 damage or just does 20 damage? When he... Oh, I get you. So when he's tired, the rocket launcher will damage you because you can't handle the recoil. Bull RBX rocket launcher does damage when tired. 20 damage? Cool, got that idea down. Let's see, so... Right, we need to make sure that the player isn't right next to the boss NPC before we just start checking for the shock. How we do this is I'm just going to set a script. I'm going to go into the shockwave. Let's do... No, that would have to check for every player if we did that. Let's see. We could have just a general... Ooh, that's an idea. Let's get the shockwave out of the server storage real quick. And let's then do... Let's copy it and duplicate it. And I'm going to send one of them back to the server storage. So we're working with this one. And we're going to call this area check, I guess. What we're going to do with this is we're going to ununion it. Let's change this back to being... Well, no, we don't have to make it... This is going to be completely transparent. But this is the size of the shockwave when it first appears. So we're going to call this, yeah, area check. Put that into the shockwave itself. Maybe? No. Ooh, this makes it a little bit more annoying, but we could set this to the humanoid. He just has this little block right there that we check and make sure there's no players touching it. Interesting. So, yeah, let's just put it into the server storage here. We're going to go into the boss logic again. And we're actually going to make another clone, but this time it will be of area check. And we're going to do the same thing. Here, and we're going to destroy it pretty early on. So we need to make area check go into the workspace when it's created. We also need to set its position. This is ran whenever floor material changes, but it should only happen when the material he changed to is air. So I don't know why I was putting all those local variables outside of this function here. But so it creates the shell, creates the area check, gets the target position. We're going to set the area check position to target position as well. And this is when, we need to check to see if any players are within this area check. What's up? Gainer, make Minecraft. I wish I could. I wish I could make Minecraft. I am not going to make Minecraft. So, area check. Position is set to the target position. Okay, so we just need to check to see if anyone's in there. So what we can do, this is going to look like messy code, but I'm able to work with messy code without getting too confused, but it's not recommended when you're working with a team or when you're working. This is just for speed right now. Area check, get touching parts, local ports, and then we're going to loop through it for part for I part in I pairs parts do if part is just going to be a part, if part if what if part dot parent, no, if game dot players get player from character part dot parent, then hit player, and we're going to create a function below here that's just going to be hit. And we're going to pass it the character. So then we can easily find its humanoid. So if we hit the player here, then we're going to call hit, and we're going to pass it part.parent, which should be equal to the character. No, I know you were kidding. Don't worry. That I thought it was funny. Can you make code that makes drag detectors work in both ways, like the selection tool? Drag detectors, huh? Huh. It's 10:49 p.m. for you, RBLX? Dang. It's 9 a.m. for me, or 10 a.m. now. Goodness. Maybe I should change the stream time a little bit for people that are in different time zones. I should have multiple streams with different times. I mean, I should keep this 9 a.m. one, but there probably would be a good time for me to create another stream time. Drag detectors. Never worked with drag detectors before. Work in both ways. like selection tool. I'd be interested in hearing more about your idea here for drag detectors, because be more specific, maybe with both ways. I just want to be able to make what you're looking for better, and I'm confusing, or I get confused easily. Let's say that. Okay, so we're checking to see if it hits the player. We do hit player. That's perfect. We also want to do, where do we check to see? Oh yeah, I forgot. The shockwave is the one that detects for hit over here. So, we don't want to have two separate places for doing, excuse me, I'm yawning. We don't want to have two different functions running in order to, like, this one's going to have this hit function here, which annoys me to no end, that we might have another one in the boss logic. You know what? It's fine. Let's make this one more damaging. If you hit by the shockwave, that's too bad. But if you're right, if you're getting landed on, basically, yeah, you should be like dead. Idea: spell crafting system. We have a crafting system idea already. Not sure what a spell crafting idea one would be, but I'll put it down. Okay, 404. Normal ones are like, hey, go throw blocks, and only in one way. So if you run the game and press the selection tool, you will see what I mean. Okay. They go in only one way. Oh, do you mean like, you want one that like you can rotate whatever you're dragging? Magic creation. I have that down on the list, so it will take a while. I mean, we have all these ideas already completed from previous live streams. This series is going to be a long-lasting series, so we will get to everyone's ideas. Some of these ideas are going to be deleted too. Some of them are just not, like, what Clipper. I know you didn't make this idea, but that one was a weird one. No, I will try what you said. It will take a little bit to get to your idea, since we're going in order. Ooh, that is a good idea for a shield, though. Okay, let's continue with the boss logic. So if it hits the character, we're just going to want to kill him. If they're that close, they're done. So we're going to look for the humanoid. Humanoid. And it's equal to character, find first child. This is a model of class humanoid. Whoa. If humanoid, then humanoid.health equals 0. Let's see if this works. We need to delete this. Task.wait. Boom. And then area check, clone, destroy. Crazy code, but it should work. Maybe. I'd like to see if it works or not. Let's get close to him. Boop. Oh dear. Oh dear, I made it. Why is it not? Did I activate the hit function? Like I did, right? Oh, get touching parts. I used get touching parts, and since the can collide is on, you can't. Let's go back to area check and turn off can collide real quick and see what that does. Boop. Okay, yeah, that's not working, is it? Let's try. Let's see again. And boop. I wonder why the shockwave didn't happen. Well, it did. So, let's see what's going on here. Time the bug. Fix. So, I wonder if it's because because it's not in the workspace. That's probably what's going on here. You know, sometimes I'm small brain, and this is one of the moments where the small brain really is a problem here. So let's try that. Since it was never in the workspace when it checked, it would never be touching me now, would it? And let's try this again. Boop. And yeah, it still didn't work. Great. Do it. See, the shockwave didn't happen that time. I'm very curious to see why it didn't work. This should work every time. Whatever, it can... Unintended bug that will be considered a feature. It's called faking out. He might not actually do the shockwave. But first, let's try to figure out why it's not finding any parts, maybe? Feel like it should, but maybe it really isn't. It should be able to find the parts it's touching with the humanoid, at least. No, it's not finding anything, is it? Huh. Maybe I need to wait, task.wait before it checks when it's in the... When it's sent to the workspace, maybe it's not initialized soon enough. Like, the physics frame needs to run one frame before it can check to see touch parts. No, that's not the problem. Huh. Now I just need to see what's going... Like, where is it? I want to turn it back to not being transparent. I want to see where it is. Yeah, you can tell I'm a dev when I make a bug into a feature. So, oh, it's not anchored. I'm so dumb. Let's I don't think that might have been exactly the problem, but let's anchor it and see if that fixes it somehow. Come on. Well, it's definitely there now. It's definitely not disappearing. It's not going away. Why are you not going away? What did I do? Did I do something wrong here? I thought I destroyed you. Yeah, right here. Oh dear. Huh. I stopped working with the clone at some point, not sure when. Whoa, why did I just put destroy here? This is all I wanted. Area check, clone, area check, clone, area check, clone. That shouldn't have been the problem either. So that just, I love it when you see problems, but that doesn't actually fix what you were initially trying to. What? Why? Where'd it go? Oh, it's because it gets destroyed too quickly. Let's do task.wait 0.5 before it dies or goes away. 0.5. I just want to see it visually, make sure that it should be touching. Otherwise, I'll just do a touch function. Yeah. It should do it. Wait. Is the player's feet not touchable? Like, oh. Does this not actually work the way I think it should? No, it can touch. Okay, so it should... the can collide is off, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't see the part. I'm actually curious to see why this isn't working. Wow. Why is this not working? It's not touching any parts at all. We're doing area check clone, get touching parts. We're waiting a physics frame, right? Well, let's just make sure that task.wait is actually the same. Run service, heartbeat. Wait, and this is 100% a heartbeat frame. So if this doesn't work, then I will admit defeat with this idea. Huh. Maybe it's just not... No, I'm not sure. Let's just make it really big, and that will be my last attempt to do this method. Where's the size? We have it as 1, so let's make it... No, this is the shockwave. We need area check. Let's make it 4. I mean, there's no question about this should try... the pairs versus I pairs thing, in this case, it should work because the parts you get is in an array or in a... Yeah, it didn't work. Where is it? So I pairs is actually more efficient when you're working with an array of just item like this without any key to value values. But like we're not doing value 1 equals 1, value 2 equals 2. This would need pairs to go through, but I pairs is when the index is 1 through whatever, and that's what we get back from the touching parts. So I know that's not the problem. It's more of just this isn't getting the parts that I expect it to. So what I will do is do area check clone dot touched, connect. We're going to make the connection here, and we're going to connect a function hit. If hit dot parent local player equals game dot players get fine. No, let's do it this way. Humanoid equals hit dot parent wait for find first child of class humanoid. If humanoid, then let's just do it here, I guess. Well, we have this, so local humanoid. We'll just pass the humanoid for right now. We can pass the character as well, though. Hit. Oh, we have a hit variable now, so I should do on hit. On hit dot parent, and we're passing the humanoid. So that should work, I believe. Not sure if a player standing still will actually activate the touched function or not, but we will see. I think it should kill still, so let's go look. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. It killed the boss. I think the boss killed itself. Oh no. That's not what was intended. Oh dear. We should go fix that, shouldn't we? Yikes. We need to make sure that the humanoid it finds is not the same as the humanoid up here, which we actually set to the same variable. So we need to fix that. Let's call this hit humanoid. So if hit humanoid and hit humanoid is not equal to humanoid, which is our boss humanoid, then we hit. So that should work. Another feature, yeah, another feature. The boss jumps to its own death. So the shockwave still happens, and if we're close to the boss, then it does indeed kill us. I do like that it's taller The what do we call? Oh, I forgot. Well, I guess we do destroy the part so we don't have to disconnect this connection, but we could disconnect it if we were too worried about memory leaks, but I don't think this should leak since we destroy the part, which should automatically destroy the connection. Okay, I was just making sure that lowering the amount of time it was on in the workspace worked. So now we can make that transparent again so we don't see it. Where is it? Area check, transparency is set back to 1. And now let's make the shockwave damage the player if it hits them. So gets past the hit parameter. So we need to make sure it has a humanoid. The shockwave shouldn't hit the boss, but I am a little nervous that it will. So what we should do is make sure it never hits this boss. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, we'll just make sure it's hitting a player. But what if we have NPCs that should get hit? The easy way to not have NPCs get hit is to just check if it's a player rather than a humanoid. But since we already checked for a humanoid on the other one, I kind of want to do the same thing. It would be interesting to see the boss actually damaging its own, you know, quote-unquote allies, I guess. The ones that are trying to kill you. Boss HP bar? Yeah, we'll get to that. Not sure. Let's just check for humanoid. Shock that touched humanoid equals hit dot parent find first child of class humanoid. If humanoid, then humanoid dot health equals minus equals 25 or 33 maybe? 1/3 of their health. 0.5. 34. So that should damage them quite a bit if they get hit. But we also need to make sure that it's not the boss itself. And how we're going to do that is a great question, because we don't have a specific way to know which one. How about we just make the shockwave specific to this boss? No, because there might be multiple bosses. Well, that's fine, I guess. No. Tricky. So what we could do is add to our shockwave an object value. And we can call this owner, I guess. And basically what we're going to do is, let's first index it. Find wait for child owner. And then we're going to make sure that humanoid does not equal to owner.value. And when we create the shockwave, we're just going to set the owner value of the shockwave to its humanoid. So when we create it over here, where do we create it? The code is a little messy now. Create it here, so shock clone. Okay, right here. We're going to do shock.owner. Did I not set this right? No, it's right here. Shock.owner. Owner? Nope, it's just not wanting to show up. But I thought when you clone something, it would also know what objects it had, but whatever. Owner.value equals humanoid. Let's see if that errors or not. It jumps and boop, and it, oh, Oh, why did it kill me? And I think I know why. It's because it damages me multiple times per shockwave. So it worked, but it worked too well. What we should do is add a local hit. Oh, I used to call this a specific thing when I used to do the same logic in the past with combat systems. I used to hit check, maybe. And it's going to be a table. And basically when we hit a humanoid that is going to damage them, we set the hit check humanoid equals true. So what we're going to do is and not hit check humanoid. And that should be all we need to have a 1 hit per shockwave counter. Do a table? Yeah, exactly. Yep, there we go. So as long as we track the humanoid of which we're damaging, again, it didn't show. Where's the shockwave, buddy? Where did that go? Come on, man. Like every time you jump, you're supposed to have a shockwave. Okay, so that finishes the shockwave because I'm not going to try to fix that bug, whatever that is. It's a feature. Yay. So let's minimize some of these things. We have our jump here. What we're going to need to do is have it walk towards a player that's the closest to it. So whoever's closest, it will just chase, I guess. We're not going to make pathfinding. I know so many people want pathfinding. Pathfinding is actually much more difficult than it should be, in my opinion. And too long for this tutorial. So, yeah, the script clones the shockwave, so it clones the script inside it. Yeah, that is completely true. So they are correct on that. Valdemar is correct with that it will work to damage me multiple times because it's a new shockwave that gets created every time with a new script. Yep, damages me multiple times. I just don't understand sometimes why the shockwave doesn't appear. It might just be like positioning. Like maybe the shockwave is actually appearing underneath the base plate sometimes. That's my only idea because the landed always appears, so that code should run every time. So I believe it's just not showing up on top of the base plate, but that's an issue for another time. So now let's get the humanoid to chase us. So we have the boss logic. I called it the boss logic. Let's call it the shockwave logic because I want to use multiple scripts for different things. So this time I'm going to have chase logic, I guess, for a script. Sometimes it's good just to separate ideas from each other. Chase logic, local boss equals script.parent. Well, I guess that's the humanoid, but that's fine. And, well, let's call it humanoid so I remember what it is, actually. Basically, every physics frame, we're going to check to see where the nearest player is, and we're going to walk towards that direction. So, let's get run service. And then connect a heartbeat function to it. Or connect a function to its heartbeat event. And then we're just going to check to see where the nearest player is. So local players equals game.players get players. We're going to loop through them for I player in I pairs players do And then we're going to have the nearest player parameter, which will be our variable nearest player, and it's going to be set to nil first, and then local distance, or distance is equal to nil. If not nearest player, then nearest player equals player. Distance equals nearest player nearest player dot character. No. Let's get it up here first. Local character equals player dot character. Local root equals character, and character find first child humanoid root part or nil. Basically what this is doing is if the character exists, then set root to this value, but if it doesn't exist, then set it to nil. So then we should do if not nearest player and root. So we're checking to see if the root exists. Then the distance equals, we need our root too, I guess. Boss root equals humanoid dot parent find wait for child humanoid. Do we not have a humanoid root part here? No, we do. Take its name and paste it. But it should be right there, shouldn't it? Dot parent dot humanoid root part. I swear, humanoid. Right? Script dot parent dot humanoid root part. Yeah, right here. I'm just gonna set it like that, I guess. I'm not sure why it wasn't showing up before. Humanoid root part. There we go. We have the boss root. And yeah, it's true, nobody. I could make it pretty module, couldn't I? I'm going to keep it in this script for right now. So when we find the root, we have the nearest player, distance, and if it doesn't exist, if there's no nearest player yet and the character has a root, then it just sets it to that. The distance should be boss root, no, character, no, root, here we go. I made it easier on myself. Root, not position. Root should be a part. Minus boss root dot position. And that should be the distance vector, but we want the magnitude. So that's literally how far away the player is. And now what we're going to do is else if root and I guess I can just set the distance actually over here. Root and this or nil. If nearest player and distance, then boom. Why do I do this? Why did I do this? Oh no. Oh, I just set it to the same variable name, which is a problem. Root distance. So, nearest. Root distance. Nearest distance. Ooh, I'm making this confusing on myself. Okay, that should be the logic here, where we're checking the root distance, making sure that it is going to be the nearest root. So else if the root exists and nearest player exists, that also means nearest distance exists. So we need to make sure that the root distance is less than the nearest distance. Then nearest player equals player. Nearest distance equals root distance. And now that should give us the nearest player once this loop is over. And the nearest distance. I should also put the direction. Which would be root. This is the direction, I think. Might be the opposite direction, I don't know. But we can just set another variable here. Or no, just set direction is equal to this. Only if this happens. Okay, there we go. Terrible code. Hey, what's up, Libya? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. We've got 9 people in here. That's the most we've had so far. Currently, right now, we are working on an NPC boss. And we are currently doing the chase function right now. Or, you know, having the NPC chase the player if he's finding the closest player and chasing them. We've already worked on Shockwave when the boss jumps, so let's finish this up. Is my voice lagging? Oh no. Has it been lagging this whole time? That's probably a problem. Is it just that my voice is too loud and it's clipping? How did it get so loud? Okay. That's good to hear that it's not. Okay. So we have our direction. So we're just going to want to... So this is within the heartbeat function. So if direction, then humanoid, which should be our boss humanoid. I should have named it that. We're just going to do the move and the direction. And it is not relative to camera, so we don't have to put that in there. Let's see what happens when we do this. Oh no, oh no. Unable to cast double to vector 3. Let's see where this is. Oh. I set it to magnitude, of course, because I'm dumb. And forgot to remove that part of that code. Oh dear! What in the world? It's so fast! Why is it so fast? Explain this to me, guys. What made this so... It jumped by itself! That is scary. That's something for a horror game. Okay. Why are you so fast? I don't think I made your humanoid that fast. What is your... I didn't change its walk speed, I swear. Where... Goodness sakes, where is its walk speed? Am I just missing it? Oh, it did change. That's crazy. Okay, it should be a little bit faster than the player, but not that fast. We don't need it that fast. Yeah, I did just pass through it. It's because its legs are non-collide. Oh dear. See, it sometimes doesn't appear, but that time it did. Works perfectly as I expected it to. Oh dear, it's lagging. The reason the NPC boss is lagging is because the network ownership is changing from me to the server like crazy. To fix that, all we gotta do is go into, let's just do our chase logic and set the boss route, set network owner nil, and that should fix the lagginess of the chase. It's a feature, yeah. It's a feature that he's super fast. So yeah, the shockwave does work, except for when it doesn't. And this is, yeah, you just pass through it. We could just make the legs can collide. However, what I'd do probably is just make it stop at a certain point. So if let's see, nearest distance. We should also have nearest position, right? No. Nearest distance, I guess, is already here. So if direction and nearest distance is greater than 4, that should stop him 4 studs in front of the character so he doesn't just go right through. That didn't work. And he just dominated me. Yikes. Let's try 10 if nearest distance is greater than 10. Oh, it might be greater than I expect because his humanoid route is taller than mine. Did he literally just go through me again? Oh my gosh. See, that's exactly what I was hoping for. When he jumps, he just dominates you. Okay. So why is this not working? Let's make this really big. Like, there's no way this could be... Wait, did I just say distance? What did I put? Nearest distance, right? And that's set, right? Right, yeah. Maybe the studs are just less than I think it is. Why is he going past me now? He didn't do that before either. Oh, I'm an idiot. I know why. It's because it is working. I just haven't done an else yet to make him stop moving. So that's when he stops moving. And now he should stop. Yep, there you go. But that's stopping way too... He still kills me. 5 seems like a pretty good number. He doesn't need to get too far away or too close. Okay, that's too far or too close. 7. How about 7? I love that so much. That is awesome. So yes, that will work for chasing. So he does chase. The shockwave logic. He needs to just repeat jumping every so many seconds. So while true, do task.wait. Every 12 seconds. Let's just try that. Every 12 seconds he'll jump. Humanoid that jump equals true. I really like how tall he jumps, but it could be taller. Really jump. Gotta wait 12 seconds, I guess. But do yuppers. So that works as expected. Yeah. The current idea is a boss NPC, so we're just making like a an NPC that acts like a wave boss, maybe in a wave game. So yeah, the do while wait it makes more sense. I like that. Makes it less lines. Instead of just true, we'll just do wait. And then yeah, so we're making him jump. And the last thing we need to do for this NPC is for the damaging, at least, is just making him damage you if he gets close to you, I guess. Maybe the only thing he should do is damage by jumping. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should he be able to attack you physically, or should he just jump you to death? Because then I could lower this to like 6 or something. Yeah, task.wait is faster than wait. Thank you, Pinum. I'm so... Oh! Ah! That is amazing how far he can make me launch. But do... Okay. So, we can either... Let's just have him damage him just small chunks. Like, I feel like, though, if you're close to him, he's going to kill you no matter what. This could just be a jumping shockwave boss. There is some talk in it in the chat, so I will go over it real quick. The difference between wait and task.wait is that wait used to go work on the old task scheduler, which would run 30 times per second. So what wait actually does when you use it is that when you put in a certain amount of time, it will wait at least one task frame, which was 30 times per second. And then it will check to see how long it's been since you started this function. And if it's larger than or equal to the time that you put in this space here, then it will end. So it wasn't perfectly accurate, but that's as accurate as it could be. And it was accurate up to a 30th of a second. No, it was accurate up to 30 times per second, whatever that is. 1/30th of, yeah, 1/30th of a second. And so all that task.wait is that it uses the new task scheduler, which is ran 60 times per second. So it's double the precision. Or you could think of it as it has half the error value that the old task scheduler does. So that's the difference. Anyway. So we have the jump, we have the shockwave. Maybe let's just add some damaging to if he's close enough. So chase logic, it will be done in the chase logic if direction and nearest is greater than 7. Else else if nearest player let's do let's do this. Let's do an if statement inside here. If nearest distance is actually less than if nearest distance is less than 6, then and nearest player, local character equals nearest player dot character, local humanoid equals character, and character find first child of class humanoid or nil. If humanoid, then humanoid dot health minus equal 5. How about that? Well, that's not really working, is it? I don't necessarily like move to, because move to, I don't know. I don't like move to with the humanoids. People have a lot of trouble using move to, like either the humanoid doesn't get to its destination, or I don't know. I've never liked move to. Move is, I think, easier in my head, but since you just have to run it every frame. The health isn't working. It's not finding the humanoid, or it's not running this at all. If nearest distance is less than 6. How about this? Oh, I'm an idiot. Why would I put this in here? It's in the wrong section. We don't even need this if statement. Not the same one, at least. Wait. Yeah, it's fine. I'll just keep this if statement within here, and that should work. What's up, Quibi? How's it going? Good to see you. That kills really fast. That's not good. So we need a little timestamp here to let us know when we last attacked. Tick. If humanoid and tick minus last hit is greater than 3 seconds, then that, and then set last hit to tick here. That should make it hit every 3 seconds. Yeah, I don't pronounce names consistently, I don't think. He still Yeah, he still does damage. That's not enough damage though. I don't think he, maybe every 1 second and then do like 7 health. That would probably be more menacing. Yeah, look at that. That's a boss for you. Wow. So there we go. We should also make sure that the boss humanoid health is greater than 0, just to make sure he's not dead. If he's dead, he shouldn't be able to damage. Oh, that should be done for like all of the other scripts as well. So shockwave logic. If this and humanoid health is greater than 0, and let's just do this as well. Oh, I forgot that the humanoid is the same name as the one we named the boss, so we need to change that. If humanoid hit and humanoid health is greater than 0. Okay, that shouldn't break anything. That should work. Boop. Oh dear. So yeah, that is our boss NPC. We could do like a health bar. I don't even know why the health on this humanoid isn't showing in the first place. That's more of like a GUI thing, a billboard GUI, which would just look for the property change of the health and then tween the health bar as such. That would actually be really easy to do. So I'm going to do that. Let's finish this idea completely. So we have our humanoid here. Where is that health? Well, we don't need the health bar if we're going to make our own. So let's just do a billboard GUI on the head, right? Or can we do it on the model itself? I'm not sure. So we're going to do a billboard GUI. We're going to insert a frame, text label, a frame. Does it show up? Doesn't look like it shows up. So let's put it on the head. There we go. So you can see the frame that we added already. But we're going to go to the billboard GUI and make it, well, first I'm going to make the frame as big as possible, which is that. It's the size of the billboard. The billboard size should not grow as the farther you get away. That's not needed. So instead of doing studs, we're going to go by the first parameter. Oh, what's up, cool typer? Goodness sakes, have I been saying Tyler this whole time? Hey, what's up, cool typer? My eyesight is not the best when I'm looking at my second monitor that's farther away. Size should be 1010. I'm still working on the boss NPC, but right now I'm doing the HP bar. So it disappeared. Where'd it go? Oh no. Is it just too small? 2020. Maybe it's... Oh, there it is. Okay, it was just too small. Cool. So we're going to do a studs offset, and we're going to do like... That's too far away. How about 3 studs? That's almost right. Let's make this a little bit shorter. Let's make... Well, okay, so this is the billboard GUI itself. This is fine. This is fine. Let's make this wider. This is going to be the health bar. That is the perfect size for a health bar, I think. Let's make it just a tad bit skinnier. There we go. Let's make it a little fancy and put in a corner, UI corner. And we'll just make it, yeah, 8 studs. That looks about right. And we're going to make this color red. This is going to be the base. We can even add a UI corner. Not a corner. Goodness, I already added that. A UI stroke. So the UI stroke is going to be added to just... oh dear. I thought that would... UI strokes usually do stroke with... like, how do I put this here? It would normally go with the UI corner, I thought. Maybe if it's this way it will. No, it won't. Maybe there's something different with billboard GUIs, because I know it does it in the normal GUI. I swear. It's not oh, I know why. It's because the billboard GUI's size. Oh, goodness. I know what I'm doing wrong. You can tell that I don't work with billboard GUIs too often. UI corner, UI stroke. Let's make this back to 3. Let's go back to the billboard GUI and actually make it bigger. Let's make it 8 and then 2 or something. So it's going to make this look really big, but then we're going to shrink this frame, which will be size 0.7, no, 0.5, 0.4, how about that? And 0.75 length. Position it in the middle. And now we have that border that we were looking for, looking beautiful, if I don't say so myself. The border does look a little bit different the farther and closer you get, but I guess that's fine. So we have the frame here. Let's just add another frame. Well, let's add another frame to it. It's going to be the same size as the frame above it, so it covers the whole thing. We're going to add the same UI corner to it, so then it's the same size. Actually, I want to make this a stud size of stroke, so it would be like, or not stroke, radius, corner radius. So 0.10, and then make the other one 0.10 as well. This just makes sure that when we resize them, they will stay the same corner radius. And it actually, the corner radius will change depending on how close you are to it, which is something I've never realized before. But that's kind of cool, actually. So I'm going to keep it. The frame above it will be green for the health. It's going to be a little bluish green. Perfect. And so then when we resize this or make it transparent, whoops, not that one, it will turn red as the health goes down. So this is the health bar. And we're going to add a script to it. We should maybe have a number somewhere that shows how much health they have. So let's do that as well. Let's add a text label. It's just going to be equal to the same size. Turn off transparency, make it as big as possible. Turn on rich text. We need text size scaled. Let's make it. What kind of font should we use? We should use a bold font. How about not Arial, but Robot Mono, and then go bold on that. The text will be like, it's 1,000 health, I think, so let's just set the default to 1,000 to 1,000. I like making the text color white and then having a UI stroke on that as well. So then it's a little bit more, where is it? Is it, no? Why would you think, oh, is there a UI text stroke object? No. Huh. Well, I guess you can, oh, is it because it's rich text? Maybe. How about this? Let's try it again. Okay, yeah, so just because it was a rich text, it wasn't taking the UI stroke object. Let's set it to 2. Make the color of the stroke a little grayish. Or actually, take that green and just make it a little bit darker. And then we can make it actually maybe a little bit, there we go. Did we get another idea in the chat? Chat's going off a little bit. Limited player server creation. So that nobody else in the party members can play in that server. That's a good idea, actually. Let's put that to the list. I like that idea. You said this is power limited player server creation. Good idea. Okay, so we got the health bar. We've got the health, what it defaults to. And now we're just going to add a local script inside this text label. Local text equals script dot parent. Local health bar equals script dot parent dot parent. And the other thing we need is the actual humanoid. So local humanoid equals script dot parent dot parent dot parent dot parent dot parent dot humanoid. No, that's not right. Oh, we need another parent dot humanoid. Yep, there we go. A lot of humanoids here. So we get our humanoid. We're going to connect get property change signal, and it's going to be health. So we're waiting for health to change in value. We're going to connect a function to that, and the amount we're going to set it to, or goodness sakes. So first we need to see how much health they have. So health equals humanoid dot health. Local max health, just in case that's for some reason changes, is equal to humanoid dot max health. And then let's set the text first. So text dot text equals health. And concatenate it with the dash and then max health. So it's like example 50 out of 1000 health. That's what it's going to look like if he had 50 health at that point, if his max health is 1000. And then we just need to change the health bar, because right now we have it perfect so that the anchor point is at the left side. So if we resize this to 0, then it should shrink from, that's how it, I just need to make sure that's how it works with the player Roblox health bar. How does my health go? Oh, it goes from right to left. So let's make it the same. We're going to need to take the health bar and put the anchor point to 1. And then put the position to 1 as well. So then if we resize it to 0.5, wait, it was right before. Goodness sakes. Okay, let's change that back to what it was. And now let's just example 0.5 right. Except for the health moves with the health bar. I didn't realize that. That's not a good thing. Let's put it into the big frame and make sure that the Z index is greater than the green behind it. Okay, we have to change the text. If the text is going to stay there, that green doesn't work with the red background. So we're going to have to change that UI stroke to just gray. Dark gray. There we go. That looks better. Easier to read too. And then, yeah, so we need to resize this now depending on how much health they have. And that will be the final thing for this boss before we go to the next thing. Where did I resize this? There we are. So let's go into the local script we created, and now we can just automatically set the health bar. We could also tween it to make it look a little bit cooler. For simplicity, let's just set the size of the health bar just automatically. And what we'll do is we have the health bar as a variable. So health bar dot size is equal to the full size is a udim from scale 1, 1. So this would mean full health. 0 would mean no health over here. So we need a percentage from 0 to 1 of how much health they have. So all we have to do is health amount, or size, I guess, health size equals max health. No. Thinking. Health divided by max health. So if health is equal to max health, it will be equal to 1. If health is less than max health, it will... Goodness sakes, I can't speak. If health is less than max health, then it will be a number between 0 and 1. And if its health is 0, well, then it will be equal to 0. So it's perfect. So this should set the health bar size. Let's add a debugging print statement to make sure that this runs when the health changes. And let's get a sword real quick so we can test out the health. We'll go into the toolbox, get a sword from the front page. And let's add it to the starter pack so we get it. Oh dear, I should probably... No, it didn't work. Because the health is definitely changing. And it's not running the script at all. Did I use a local script? I did. Now why did I do that, guys? Why did I do that? We're working with the server, so we should be using a server script. And let's just copy everything we have here and go. It's just because I was feeling like we were working with GUIs, which usually is working with local scripts, but since it's a server GUI, it's in the workspace, it can be manipulated with the server script. So let's delete this local script here, and let's try that again. Infinite yield on workspace. Wait, why is it waiting on the workspace? That's not right. This here, script.parent. So we did too many parents, apparently. Haha, too many parents, apparently. One parent. Oh, yeah. It's because I moved the... Oh, so none of these will be right. It's because I moved the text label outside of the health bar. So health bar is equal to script.parent. Wait for child health. Thought it was. Was it not? Script.parent.parent.health. Yeah. And then this one is just one less parent, maybe? No. Two less parents. Huh? Oh, wait. Yeah, humanoid. There we go. And that should fix the issues. Yeah, you could disable the display name viewer. That probably is a good idea because it's blocking it. Let's survive these jumps real quick. Oh. Did I do the health bar the opposite direction it should be? I just died. Well, the size isn't changing, so let's go fix that. Did I not set that? Oh dear. Guys, why? What was I doing? I gotta put health size in there. I can't just set it to 0. So let's try that again. There we go. The health is definitely going down. And this sword does a lot of damage, apparently. But yeah, we can kill it. Oh dear. If anyone can explain why that would happen, I would love to hear your explanation. What is going on? What if I jump on him? What? I thought I set you that you couldn't damage me if your health was lower than 0. Oh, it's because it is 0. Oh my gosh. So, I'm dumb. Put an equal sign here, and then that should fix everything. For the health is less than 0, equal to 0. You can't really be less than 0, but it's just more of a precaution, I guess. There we go. That might be why. That might be why he was going crazy, was because he was still trying to move when he was dead. Yeah, he will get destroyed when he dies. That's a really easy script to do. If we just add a death script inside him. Death script. Death logic, I guess. And we go inside the death logic script, local humanoid equals script.parent. Humanoid.died connect function. We just need it to connect once, so once. Task.wait 3 seconds. Script.parent.parent destroy. Script.parent.parent, which should be the boss model, destroy. So that should vanish the boss when he dies. And yeah, he disappears. You can do respawn logic pretty easily by just I have a tutorial. My part 4 for my enemy NPC tutorial goes. Its whole topic is respawn logic for an NPC, which can be used exactly for this one here. So if you guys want respawn logic, you can go look at that tutorial. But let's go into the humanoid real quick and turn off the name display. Always off. Wait, health display. Yeah, health display should always be off. Display distance should be none for the name. And now it just, you can put a label up here for the name of the boss. That's really easy to do. There's so many things you could add to this to make it a little bit more cooler, I guess you could say. Let's go into the humanoid. Where is this? It's in the head, right? Yeah. We can just add, within this frame here, we can add another text label. This text label is going to set its anchor point to 1. Size is going to be a little bit less so it doesn't get blocked out here. Wait, I just changed the text label of this. I wanted to change the text label of this. Whoops. Size will be 0.20. 0.5. Text scaled boss. Let's make it as big as it can go before it starts clipping. That's as big as it can go. Make the background transparent. Make the text probably white again with a UI stroke. Make this 3, maybe, no, 2. It could be a little bit bigger. We can just make the billboard GUI just taller. But we're going to have to change the size of the health bar then. Whoops. And now we can make the boss name bigger. Where is it? This the boss name? There we go. Now it should be looking pretty consistent for the name tag as well. Can also make this bold. Oh, the top is getting cut off. Need to make it a little bit smaller. That's way smaller. There we go. Perfect. We have our boss. He works. I'm going to save him as a model. No. Since we have the shockwave in the server storage, we're going to have to save this as a place file. If you guys... I'm going to uncopy lock it so then you guys can edit it in Roblox Studio and add it to your games as well. I could try to make a model that would just be drop and play into games, but it is easier when the area check and shockwave are located in the server storage. So I'm just going to save it as a place right now. Create new NPC boss. Turn off team create, and after the live stream, I will post it into the description of the live stream video that you're on currently. The description will be edited to have the place file. Well, it'll be a link to the place on Roblox, and to edit it, all you'll have to do is hit the three. Well, let me just show an example real quick of going to a game. So this is the crouch system we made in the last live stream. If you want to go edit it, you'll see that the game is privated, so only I can play it. Because I don't want you guys to play it, I want you guys to take it into your Roblox Studio. And to do that, all you have to do is hit these three buttons over here. And you guys should also see an edit button, and that will open up the place in Roblox Studio where you can download it, edit it to your whatever you want to do. So that's how you would go and add this to your game, or how you would open it in Roblox Studio at least. So that is that for that part of the live stream. We finished the NPC boss. We'll put that into the completed list. The next thing to do is a lightsaber. So this was, I don't know whose idea this was because I forgot to put names by ideas for a while. So the next, we'll just add, create a new workspace real quick. We'll try to make, what does a lightsaber look like? One second. I mean, I know what a lightsaber basically looks like, but I want the details. Uno momento while I look for images of references real quick. I can... Okay, so it's just a... For the most part, it's just a stick with some cool looking features, I guess, with a saber of light on the end of it. So let me go back to the stream. Mod Roblox uploaded a lightsaber gear. Okay, I mean, I still want to make one, but I will. That's interesting. Well, I could expect someone else to make it. I mean, it's a pretty popular idea, most likely. But let's make it anyway. It should be, I mean, the longest part should be the modeling of it. I'm going to make it very simple. I say that, but every time I say it's going to not take that long, it takes forever. So let me look at the saber again. So it's a cylinder. It is, the base of it is a cylinder. So let's get a cylinder out. And excuse me, we have kind of like a hand holding held. Trying to think of how to model this. Let's get out avatar. So I'm not the best at creating models, guys. So forgive me if this looks very basic when I'm done with it, but I'll try my best to make it look more advanced. So this is my model, and this is what I look like. So the lightsaber needs to be much smaller than that. So let's change the move size to 0.5 so I can make this smaller. A little bit longer for the size of the saber handle. That looks about right. This will be the handle. we'll need the grip part, I guess. So usually what you would do is add a little piece to the bottom here. That's a little bit, oh, that's way bigger. I need way less studs. There we go. Right to the bottom here. And to the top of it. So we have this little grip right here. A lot of the sabers kind of extend a little bit up, or how do I put it? Have a little bit of a larger section here. They all seem to have buttons on them to activate the saber, but they're all in different positions from the models I've seen. So we'll make ours simple and add the button just like right here, probably. So let's add another cylinder. That is a very big cylinder that we have here. Let's make this much smaller and make it red, because red seems to be a popular color with the buttons for some reason. Just resize it so it's in the middle. Looks about, I mean, it looks as right as it will ever. These parts here are usually metal. It's a little shinier than I expected, but it's fine. Let's actually move this down a little bit. And we'll add some details to the side here. Whoa, very big block. Don't need that big of a block. Add it to the side here. It's a little bigger than I need, but that's as small as it's going to get, isn't it? That's a little sad. Just do this. Can I make it smaller than 0.01? Let's see. Yes, I can. Let's first make sure that we have some on both sides that are in the same position. Okay. And now let's just resize them as much as they can to be like that. Let's make these gray. Or that seems more like white. How about there? Make it metal. Oh, now it's too dark. So go back here. There we go. I mean, some of the lightsabers had this type of deal. I'm going to go down here as well, create more of these cylinders. But what I'm going to do is make it, well, first I need to get the sizing correct. 0.1. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize it a little bit more to be smaller. 0.05 maybe. Okay, no. 0.025 should be just right. And then we're going to move this like, what would that be? 0.2 studs. A little much there. 0.15 studs. There we go. Just going to duplicate this a little bit. And we're going to make this a little bit darker of a color compared to the rest. Dark gray. Darker gray. That's not getting darker, is it? That's good. And so now let's just make the blade, which is going to be a cylinder again. It's going to be right in the smack middle, if I can. Oh dear. Okay, easier way. Duplicate a cylinder that's already existing. There we go. Lightsaber, that looks about right. Maybe a little large, but that's fine. Make it a little bit thinner. That might be too thin. No, that's perfect. That's about the size of a lightsaber. Let's make this neon. Oh, I forgot to change the title. Let's do that. Working on lightsaber. And let's change this to neon real quick. Ooh, it glows. Let's make it a, should we make it an evil lightsaber or a good lightsaber? Like red. With the end of here, let's see. Thinking on how I could round out the edge here. I would know how to make it the inverse of what I want, but I want it just to be rounded at the end here. I was thinking of a way to do it with unions, but I'm coming up short. How about this? This will be really stupid if this works. Let's duplicate this real quick. Let's add a sphere. This will be really stupid if this works. Okay, so I'm putting it to this. Oh, that's not working. Oh, okay, too much. There we go, it's in the center. Then we just move it there. So that would be kind of the rounded edge I'm looking for. Let's make it neon. But I want it to be one part. Well, do I? Yeah, I do. I want to be able to resize it easily. So I'm going to do something really stupid. Let's make this a neon part as well. So that, yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for the rounded edge. What if we just make a mold? Make a mold for the part. So let's resize this to the size of the lightsaber. There we go. Perfect. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this the, well, first let's name these parts. Saber top. Rename saber bottom. And let's resize this again, and then what we're going to do is take the saber top and the saber bottom and make them negates, and then take the part here and union it together, and then we get this little concave mold. What I should do actually though is make this a little bit bigger before I do that. And now let's union the sabers together. Crap. Where's that part? Oh, it's just a negative part. So take this part, combine the two negative parts, union. Now we have this little mold thing. I'm gonna take it over here. I gotta center this. Perfect. And then just shrink it on. No, that's not gonna work, is it? Wait, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Turn this to the negate and union this together. Yes! We've got one part. That's exactly what I was looking for, because now we can just resize this and not have to worry about two parts being there. Cool. Oh, that worked way better than I thought it was going to. Let's just say that. And now we have the model. That's the model we're going with. Group it together, call it Lightsaber. What we're going to need to do is also create... We need to weld it all together, which is an annoying thing to do sometimes. We can add a script that can do that, actually. We'll do a weld script, I guess, because tools can be really annoying in how they don't weld too easily. Let's create the handle real quick. Where is the handle? This the handle? Nope, that's the detail. There's the handle. I'm gonna call this handle. Instead of actually making it a model, we're going to make this a tool. And, you know, just to see what happens, because I know what's going to happen, but let's put it into the starter player. No. The starter pack. So it will be in our inventory when we play the game. It should fall apart when we pull it out. Yeah. So it appears where everything else is and just falls apart because nothing is attached to each other. And usually what you'd have to do is you'd have to go, well, I guess we could just make it two pieces, couldn't we? So we have the saber, which here's the saber, and here's the whole handle. Can we just union this together? I mean, it looks about... Oh, I forgot that it would set the material to be the same as each other. Just make it all metal. That looks good. And now it's one part. So now all we have to do is anchor these two parts together. So what we would do is the union would be the handle. And the saber, all it would have to do is just be attached by a anchor. No. A weld constraint. And part 0 would be the saber, part 1 would be the handle. So now it's attached to the handle. So let's try... Oh, I didn't put it back into the starter pack again. So let's put that into the starter pack real quick. Press play. See what happens here. Okay. We get our lightsaber, but it's, you know, maybe not the right orientation. Unless we're just really cool and we like to hold our lightsaber like this isn't usually the typical way to hold it. So actually, let's edit it from within the game real quick. And go to Super Speedy 101, which is my character's username. And then go to Lightsaber and the orientation, the grip orientation. Here we go. So how do we do this? They've made grips much easier, haven't they? Just 90 degree it. Yeah, boom. So that's the orientation we need on the tool. I think maybe it should be facing the opposite direction. So it would make sense for the thumb to be by the button, but let's just make it... Oh dear. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I said to do. Huh. It's so weird that it will change the values for you. So the grip is still kind of hard to work with. Just a 90 degree turn here. And then 270? I mean, so close, but... Wow. I'm really confused here. I'm just going to set it to here and call that good. Lightsaber will look like this when holding it. So I'm going to copy that orientation and set it into the tool once we're out of the game. I think that should just automatically set it forever like that. So let's play and see. Lightsaber. Yep. Okay. So that set the tool grip correct. Now what we're going to want to do is have a button to activate it and a button to attack with it. So what we'll want is... I haven't worked with tools in the longest time, so I can't quite remember how the client-server relationship works with tools or how it should be done. Let's do it mostly server-sided, I guess. Let's have... First, let's take the saber out of the into the workspace. Let's set the saber's size of the saber part. Like that. So now we can't see the saber. But if we were to scale it again, and I can't imagine that's what the noise will make when a lightsaber would make. Yeah, so let's just set it to be invisible. And so now, let's take the saber and put it back into the starter pack. Oh, whoops. I put the saber, not the lightsaber, into the starter pack. And let's add a local script to it. No. Yes. Let's add a local script. I think this should run when the lightsaber is added to the workspace. Maybe not. Let's test it out. It's print hello world. Okay, so it just runs when it's put into our backpack, which is fine. Local lightsaber equals script.parent. Lightsaber.equipped. Connect function. We're gonna add a is equipped to it. Is equipped equals true. And then dequipped, unequipped. So we're just setting this variable is equipped to true. And then what we want to do is also look at when they press a button. So we're going to make it so that to activate the lightsaber, you have to press the either the E button or the F button. Let's just make it the F button. We need user input service to check to see what they press on the keyboard. Game, get service, user input service. So user input service, when an input has began, we're going to connect a function to that. We're going to get the input object, and if it was processed by the game. If it was not processed by the game, and input.keycode equals enum.keycode the letter we want, which is going to be F. So that's basically checking to see. So if the GP means game processed, and that's like, we don't want this to activate if the player is chatting. Like if they press the F button while they're chatting in game, we don't want this to activate. So if they are chatting or putting text in somewhere, or the game literally processes the text that they're typing, this will be true. However, if it's not, then it will be false. So we're checking to see, hoping that it's false, so that they're not typing into something. They're just pressing the F button. And when they press the F button, we're making sure that they're actually pressing the F button out of all the keys they could be pressing. So when that happens, we want to activate the lightsaber. And we're going to do that server-sided, so then it just looks correct to everyone. You could do a client-server hybrid of the animation of the saber coming out, but we're doing this simple. So let's continue. If the F button is pressed, we want the lightsaber to come out. So we need to activate, we need to add an object, a remote event. We're going to call this saber event. Let's create a local variable for it. And saber event is a remote event that we're going to activate the server from. So saber event, fire server. And then what we're going to do is, this will be the activate and the deactivate button, the F key. So we're just going to fire the saber event. We don't need to do anything else, I believe. We will test this out with multiple players once we're done. But we're just going to fire the server. Now we need a server script. And we're going to index the saber event. And now saber event on client, on server event, connect function player. Don't really need that because we're doing it on a saber to saber basis. No, we need that. We need to do a check here. We need to make sure that the player that activates the remote event is actually the player that has the sword. So our when this is activated, this is within the lightsaber. So the local player, saber player, let's call it that, should be equal to script.parent, which is our tool.parent. That's actually our character, saber character. And so we need to make sure that the saber player equals game.players get player from character, and add the saber character into it. And we need to make sure that the saber player is equal to the player that activated the event. So if player equals saber player then we do the activation. Let's first set that the is, what did we call it over on the local script? We called it is equipped, so let's do that. Oh, we also need to do an add check here, and is equipped. Boom, right there. So is equipped should start as false. And then this is a toggle, so it will just is equipped equals not is equipped. So if it's true, it will now be set to false. If it was false, it will now be set to true. And then we'll do an if statement. If is equipped, or no, I should say saber drawn is saber is activated. Because it is equipped, but we want to know if it's activated or not. So just make a variable that sounds more like it should be. So the saber, if activated, let's look at this real quick. We just fire the server. So if it's fired, then the player is right. If it's activated, we want the saber to extend. So we need the saber part. So let's get that into a variable. No, I just want the saber. That's our saber part right here. Let's make that lowercase. So then what we want to do is set the size and the position so that, excuse me, so that the saber, well, it extends. So let me think about that for a second. Okay. So we have the handle. We need the handle too. Let's first just extend the saber, even though it won't look correct. We need tween service. So let's get that. Get tween service. Now, if it is activated, we want to create a tween that is, the saber is the part being tweened. Tween info, let's just make it tween info.new1. And the goal should be size equals, our saber right now is, it's the y-axis that it needs to be changed to. So we're going to keep the same x and z axis using a vector 3. So it's 0.4, and now we need to change it to the size we want, which let's just do 10 for right now, and 0.4. So that will change the size to 10 length, and then we're just going to play the tween. But then if it's not, we're going to play the tween, but instead of a length of 10, we're going to do the length that it is right now, which is 0.05. And let's see what happens when we do that. So let's take the lightsaber. Okay, let's press the F button. Look at that. It does indeed create the lightsaber extending out and in, but as you can see, it's coming out the bottom as well. There are lightsabers that do extend from both sides, but that was not my intention for this tutorial. It also got too long. It's about twice as long as it needs to be. So let's, first of all, let's take the saber and make it can collide to false. We'll also do the same thing with the handle. So that will help a little bit there. But let's make the size like 5 when it extends out. Now let's press play again. And let's extend it out again. Press F. Now it looks really short, but that's just because that part needs to be at the top here. And the animation kind of takes a little bit too long too. So let's change the animation speed to like 0.6. Sounds about right. And we also need to change the position of the tween, I guess. Or that might not be correct, actually. Let's go look at the saber real quick into the workspace. So let's look at the saber. Let's scale it to a certain size. Doesn't really matter how much we scale it. So let's look at how this saber is connected. We have a weld constraint. Might be a problem because we don't exactly know what position we need the saber to be in. We know in relation to the handle, but we might be moving as we extend it out. And it's not like it's an attachment. So we can't just change the... Interesting. Pivot offset. What does this do? Not sure. I'm trying to think what we can do about this. Because we don't want it to extend out from the bottom. That would be the easy way to go right now, is just to have it a double-sided lightsaber. But if I want it to extend out, whoops. It's like, the problem is that the position changes as well. But like when you resize something like this, it's actually changing the position because the position is on the center of the object. So as I make this longer, the center gets higher. So that's changing the position. And the position will be completely different depending on where our character is. There's no way to do it in relation, because the problem is that the animation takes a second. It could be easily done. Now I'm trying to think, is there a way to weld it to an attachment? Because then we could just move the attachment. I'm not sure, but I want to try. So let's, on this saber, I mean, we have attachments. This could be the way to do it, actually. So let's take this lightsaber and add an attachment. It must be a base part. Okay, let's put it on the handle then. And we're going to put it... Nope, that's not right. That is also not right. Where'd it go? Too low. Too high. Perfect. Okay. So that's the saber attachment. Now the weld constraint, I don't know. I don't think you can put that to an attachment. We could just do a weld. Can we put in just a basic weld? We can. But it doesn't take... It takes these weird things. So no, let's not do that. I don't think we can take a attachment as part of it, but let's see. Instead of doing the handle, how about saber attachment? Yeah, no, it doesn't work. Yeah, I know that the position and size need to change at the same time, but the problem is that if I were to change the position, I don't know what position it needs to be in, because the saber position is a world position rather than in relation to the handle. So as we're moving around, that position that it needs to change to is changing, and since we're tweening it, we need to know what it will be after a second and tween it to that, but we don't know what that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take out this weld constraint. In every physics frame, I might just set it to the position it needs to be in. That's a terrible way to do it. I don't like that, but it might be the way to do it. So here's my idea. I'm just going to do it just to see if it works. And if it works, it doesn't matter then, does it? Let's take out this weld constraint on the saber. Let's add a script. Well, we have a script. We can just set the saber here. Let's get run service. And every physics frame let's set the position of the handle, no, of the saber. We need the attachment. It's actually going to be inside saber. So it's saber. Oh, it's handle, not saber. And so that's our attachment. Every heartbeat, we're just going to set the position or the C-frame of it to the C-frame of the attachment. So saber dot C-frame equals saber attachment dot world C-frame. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, whoops! I forgot to put it back into the starter pack. Oh, we need to anchor it. Let's take the saber and the handle and just anchor it. Well, we don't want... The saber is not going to be connected anymore, so we can anchor it. It's not going to technically be connected. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I hate that so much. Oh! Goodness sakes, I didn't think of this. Well, not exactly. Yeah, so I just realized that this wouldn't work because, isn't that interesting how you can tell the lagginess between the server and the clients by being dumb like me and forgetting about the latency issue. So let's fix that. So we're going to go back into the script and completely destroy this stupid idea of, let's go back to the whole weld. The saber is going to be connected through a weld object, which is equal to part 0, and part 1 is the handle. There we go. So now it should be back to normal. I have an idea. Let's not use tween service. Let's use let's use a while loop. And so what we're going to do actually is we're going to duplicate the saber. So this should be what it looks like when it's extended. So we're going to call this extended saber. And I'm going to make it transparent. And so it's also anchored to the handle, so it'll be in the same exact position as the saber. So let's make this transparent. So now we're only seeing the actual saber. And let's extend this down to the bottom and duplicate it here. We're going to call this closed saber or something like that. And so these are the target positions and sizes that we're going for. So within our script here, rather than using a tween, we're going to be looping through first we should have like a toggle, so, or a debounce. Debounce equals false. If not debounce, then debounce equals true. Do this, and then debounce equals false. So what we will do is loop through. What did I do with it? I deleted something important. I deleted the is activated and the is player. I'm going to copy this real quick and go back to what we had. So if it is activated, then we're going to loop through and loop it to be extended. And if it's not, then we're going to do the opposite. Let's get the target positions real quick, or the target size, target objects. Saber parent, wait for child, extended saber, and we're going to get the other one as well. So now we have the closed saber and the extended saber. If it's activated, then we want to extend it. So we're going to do for I equals 1060, no, 30, do, whoops, for I equals 130, there we go. And so what we will do is just extend it this way and position it this way. So the position will always be the C frame, the saber C frame is equal to, oh no, this isn't right, but it's, let's think this through. I feel like there's a way to do this using... What do you... There used to be a function where you could take two positions and kind of get the in-between position of them. Not sure what that was called anymore, and it's depreciated, I think. Deprecated. Man, this is a struggle. I'm struggle busting right now. So Saber, C-frame. Ooh, I have to think this through a bit because I've never had to work with a tool like this before that extends. There has to be an easier way to use attachments with this, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. I feel like the weld constraint should have an option here. Well, you know about that. No, that wouldn't work either. The whole problem is that we can't use attachments with the weld constraints. I don't think there's like an attachment constraint or anything. What is a universal constraint? What? Interesting that it takes attachments there. I don't think that's what we wanted. Rigid constraint? Like, is this something that's better? Is this what I've been looking for this whole time? I need to check. So, attachment 1, we would just put the attachment in the saber. Insert object, attachment. And that's exactly where I'd want it to. So if I were to do a rigid constraint on, what does active mean? True if the constraint is active in world, sure. Oh, I can't activate it, cool. I don't know what this does. I've never used a rigid constraint before, but let's see if this is like a sort of weld in a way with using attachments. Oops. What? What did this do? Weird. Okay, let's try this again. I don't know. Huh. Really need an explanation on that one. I'd like to see what this looks like when we play the game. So, oh dear, okay. Yeah, that's not what I was hoping for. Is the saber isn't anchored? Yes, it is. It is anchored because I anchored it before, didn't I? So let's unanchor that. And see what happens now. Yeah, it still like anchors it to the whole world, which is insane. Not sure why. I don't think, did I anchor? Oh, I did anchor the other sabers as well, the hidden ones that you can't see. So let's try this. You know, that is what I was hoping for. This might actually be able to work then if we can use this rigid constraint. So let's remove We can remove these sabers then. Let's delete them from the script. Let's look at our saber attachment. So we have our attachment. I'm going to pull it out into the workspace again so we can get a little bit of a visual. And we need to get the saber to be the right size again, or the right orientation. So let's look at this attachment real quick. I feel like we can just change the orientation of the attachment. Let's change the size of the saber to make sure it's the right direction. Whoa. Why would that affect anything? No, it's not the right direction anyway. So let's switch that around. No, I don't want to switch the saber around. I want to switch, or the handle. I want to switch the saber. Is this, how do I know which one's being set here? I don't know why it's thinking the saber is control. Let's take, what was it before? Attachment and the saber. So this one should be the saber. This one should be the handle, or the attachment here. So then when I resize this, yeah, still does the same thing, but let's just see what happens when we put that into our starter pack again. And let's take it out. Yeah, it's still in the right position, so it's fine. Just looks weird when it's in the workspace, at least. So, I mean, the whole point is going to be that the attachment's going to move. And so, whoa, not that one apparently. Why? Why would that happen? That doesn't make any sense at all. The saber attachment. How about this one? Wow, I have no clue what's going on there. So yeah, this would work if we set it like... We have a position here. If we set the position to not that way. 3? Nope, not that way either. It's the y-axis. There we go. So we just need to slide it up, or slide it down, actually. 2 studs. And just a little bit more than 2 studs. It's a bit long of a saber, I feel like, but, you know, maybe if we just made the saber part just a little bit smaller, it would be fine. There we go. Well, it's a little long still, so let's resize it a little bit more. There we go. That looks about right. So let's take that position, the attachment, this is the one that we moved. This is the position we want. So let's go into the script and say extended position. And now let's get it into the unextended again. So let's take the saber, shrink it. Oh, that's perfect, isn't it? What? Okay, that's fine, actually. We actually don't need to do any position changing in this case. So now I can just resize it perfectly fine. I should be able to, at least. So the size of, it was right here. So the saber size was this. So that's the extended size we want. So 4.85. Oh, you know what we can do now? Oh dear. We can just go back to the script we had before. Like a long time ago when we just, yeah, tweened it. This should all be fine. We're just going to do 4.85, but we can even keep it at 5 now, like we had it before. I wonder if this would work. Oh, I did not put into the starter player again. Great. Lightsaber, starter player. Let's try it. You know, using a beam probably would have been much better, wouldn't it have? Peculiar pizza. You make a very great point, but the problem is I'm already basically done with using a part. Now I feel dumb because a beam would have been much easier to use. Well, we have a part. Oh, it's already extended. That's probably not what I wanted it to do. So let's resize that again to be 0. There we go. And now let's put it back into the starter pack. And let's bring it out. There's our lightsaber. And let's press the F button to activate it. Oh no. Okay, so that didn't 100% work, but it's a pretty easy fix. We have it's attached using an attachment. So all we got to do is move the attachment as well as resizing it. If we go into the script here, we have the saber attachment right here. And that's in our handle. So we're actually going to want the one that's in the saber itself. Yeah, lighter red would be better. There we go. And do color. Oh, it's not using base color, apparently. Or is it use part color? There we are. And now let's change it. Look at that. Evil. Okay. Could even make it just a tad bit transparent if we wanted to, I bet. Not that. Like that. Can't barely even tell it's a little transparent. But anyway, so that's what the saber now looks like. Let's reshrink this back. So let's put that back into the work space. No, into the starter pack. Let's go back into the script again. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that color for right now. Let's get the script to finalize, and then we can work on the colors. So we need to tween the saber attachment a little bit. I want to do some silly coding practices, but we'll just call this tween 2. This one will be on the saber attachment. Same tween info. We're going to change the position to right now what it is. Oh, I put the saber into the, goodness. I need to put the lightsaber into the starter pack. So the starter pack lightsaber. Let's look at the saber itself again. Its attachment, its position is currently this. So what we're going to want to do is just change the position to vector3.new 0. I don't know which way it needs to go, but maybe it's this way. What did I do wrong here? Oh, delete this. Okay. And so we're also going to make this, it's also still wrong. Okay, I think that fixed it. We're going to make this tween over here as well. And then we're going to play both tweens. Tween 2, play. And let's see what this does. And see what this does. Okay, so it went the wrong direction. So instead of 2 here, we're going to put -1, I guess, because it seemed to do it a little bit too much. And then we're just going to want to put 0 here. And let's test this out. Well, look at that. We have our lightsaber that extends and detracts. And it doesn't mess up if we do it too quickly. So we can actually take that debounce out that I never actually finalized within the script. We don't, oh, I think I deleted that. So that's perfect. We don't need a debounce. We can work on the colors a little bit. You said make it more salmon color. So make it more white, I guess. I think that's more what you were talking about here. Could use some like effects, I guess, but I'm not really one into particle effects. I don't know how to do them too well. But yeah, I guess that is the model, and all we need to do now is just add it so that when you swing with it, if you hit someone with it, it just kills them. We would just do a touched event on the saber. So let's shrink this. No, not the saber itself, not the whole saber, just the light. Let's put that into the starter pack. And I'm going to add a script to it. Well, we have the script here. All we got to do is saber.touched, connect function, hit, if hit local humanoid equals hit dot parent find first child of class humanoid. If humanoid, then humanoid dot health equals 0. I'm just going to make it an insta kill. Sabers are pretty nasty things, and you can do damage if you want, but in the swinging, I'm not really going to do one. I'm not really one for animation. I hate animation, to be honest, but it is important. But I don't think I'm going to get into that today. This part of the tutorial has already gone quite enough length of time. So yeah, maybe they did. I'm not sure. Remove that hue, color glowing hue thing. We could use like a outline, I guess. Like if we took the saber out here, and I'm going to do this for the last time. If we take this, I don't know if this works or not. Not selection box. I don't think that's what I'm talking about. I feel like they added in something new. Maybe it's a GUI thing. I thought it was outline, but maybe it's not. People use it for outlines all the time now, at least. GUI. Oh, highlight. That's what I was thinking. And if you were to adorn, yeah, put it onto the lightsaber, not the saber. The saber. Why is that not working? It's not because it's transparent, is it? It is because it's transparent. Interesting. Highlights don't work on transparent parts? Okay, interesting. But that lets you see the bottom part, which I didn't think it would, but I guess it did. Like, can I put the highlight into the saber itself? Whoa, I can. So if we were to put it into the saber, yeah, it still does this stupid thing. I'm not sure why it always has to be on top, but can you... The outline transparency isn't interesting. So I'm going to get rid of the highlight. Seems hard, but yeah, that is the lightsaber. All I'm going to do. Animations will, if you guys want this model, you're going to have to animate it yourself. What I'm going to do is publish the model, and I'm going to link it into the video description, and you guys can take it and use it however you want. But there's probably way better free models out there. But this was just an idea someone gave that they wanted, so that's what I did. Let's take this lightsaber. I'm not sure if saber is supposed to be like, is it lightsaber and it's capital S? I'm not sure. I don't care. I'm going to save it as a model. So save to Roblox, lightsaber, distribute, and call it good. So, what just happened? Huh, I have another base plate. Did I just... confused. Wasn't that weird? Did I publish it? Need to make sure I did that correctly. I don't know what I just did. I blanked out for a second. Tools, view, toolbox, my models. No, I didn't. What happened to it? Shoot. Going back into my video to see what I just did. No. Okay, going back to the video, it looks like it was uploading and then it just stopped. There's no way I just lost that. There's no way. I think there's an autosave here, so let's look at that. Okay, phew, we have the autosave. How about you actually save this time? Maybe the name, I'm just going to call it Saberlight or something like that. Like, what if they've, I don't think they can copyright the name of lightsaber, but let me just try it one more time. Save to Roblox. I don't think it saved. It didn't. So lightsaber, submit. Okay, so it does break when I try to save it as lightsaber. So I'm going to change the name. I don't know if that's the reason or not, but I'm going to make sure that I change the name. Okay, Electromang said, could you make an enemy for my game? He's called the Magician. He has 7 arms, 2 holding cards, 2 having Roblox noobs, 1 having a salve, 1 having a Vaughn, and 1 empty. I don't know what those things are of like the salve and the Vaughn, unless you're saying wand and a, I don't know what the other thing is. But that is an interesting... What's up, 404 Games? That's an interesting idea. I'd love to see your game when it's done. And, I mean, I can make that. That's an idea. So... I spelled that wrong, but I'm going to keep it... the Magician. 7 arms. 2 holding cards. 2 holding noobs. 1 with saw and 1 with a Vaughn. Oh, a saw and wand. Okay. That makes sense. 2 V's equals a W. I didn't see that for some reason. Okay, so the 7 arms, 2 holding cards, 2 holding noobs. Yeah. Put that on the list. That will get to sometime in the decade. So, okay, let's publish this again. Let's try to publish this. Save to Roblox. I'm going to call it Saber. Let's try it. Why are you not working? Okay, I will figure that out later. It might be an issue with my account not being correctly connected for some reason. So I might have to close it and open it again, which is a hassle. I'll get the model saved to Roblox and put it in the description of this live stream after I close the live stream. But for right now, I'm just going to save the place that it's in, and I'll figure that out later. Well, hopefully it'll let me make the game. It did before. There we go. Okay, so it's published as a place. I'll get the model saved later. Let's move that from the to-do to the finished. Oh dear. We're at crafting system and it is pretty late. We only got 2 things done today though. I don't want to stop here, but it's been a while, hasn't it? The live stream has been going on for how long now? 3 hours and 30 minutes? Goodness. I really took my time on those 2 things. The crafting system is a bit advanced. Traffic AI is interesting. I don't know how you would make what type of traffic you're looking for. I'm also not the best at advanced AIs, but crafting system, I could only assume that they're thinking of like a Minecraft crafting system, but I guess there are other crafting systems that I've played before, like where you just have 2 items that if you just have them, you can craft it. Not sure. I mean, really a crafting system, all a crafting system is taking is saying, okay, here's what you can craft. There's ingredients that you need. And basically, when you go to craft, all you have to do is be like, okay, do they have those items in their inventory? So it's almost more like an inventory question rather than a system. Like, all you have to do is say, do they have these items? If they do, remove them and give them a new one, which is the crafted item. So I almost feel like it should be more of an inventory system. But the GUI, like the crafting part of it, would be more of the visual aspect of, okay, drag your items to the crafting zone and then craft, I guess. And I cannot possibly finish that today. So if there's okay, here's the something that I'll do instead that I don't normally try to do, but I am going to jump to requirement door because that's something I can get done within the hour. I will finish requirement door, finish the live stream today, and start with crafting system next week. So let's do requirement door instead. I'm sorry for the people that would rather a crafting system, but that will be for next week on Saturday at the same time start. So if you guys want to see that, you can wait till then. Otherwise, let's get a new file and start on the requirement door. So I believe that it's just like requirement doors used to be so popular back in the old RPGs where you would have to have like a certain level to get to a certain zone. It usually back then was just a basic part. So all you would have to do is take a part here. This will be our door. And then we'll extend it to be like a door. And so here's the one thing you need to know is that hackers will be able to always get through these doors. So they actually don't have to be that secure, because even if you made it as secure as possible, people can always teleport or fly their character around these things. If you want to do some special checks to make sure that they're in a zone they're supposed to be in, that's a different type of tutorial. But this tutorial is just for a door. We also, let me explain to you guys one thing that I always love seeing as a kid, playing these games with requirement doors. So let's say the door, you needed level 20 to get through, right? So what games would do is that if you have level 20 or above, when you touch the door, it would make it non-collide, a little bit transparent, and you'd be able to walk through. And the door would stay like that for like 5 seconds. And then it would close again. But if another player that didn't have the level followed the other player in with them, they would get through too. So as long as you had someone with a higher level, you could get to a zone you shouldn't be able to. That's because back then, if you changed the door, and this was when Roblox was super duper hackable. If you changed the door locally, it would change it for everyone. So if you did it a local script to change the door to non-collide, everyone would have that change as well. Nowadays, if you change the non-collide on a local script, it only does it on the client that you did the local script on. So that makes it much easier now to not have that issue of players getting into things that they shouldn't. So that was a long explanation, but here's our door. It's just going to be a normal part. I did not spell that right, I don't think. So I'm just going to call it level door. I think the first thing we need to do actually is make a script that sets up a level for us. So let's go into server script service, add a script. And we're going to do local leader stats equals instance.folder, or instance.new folder, goodness, and leader stats.name equals leader stats. Local level is equal to instance.new int value. Level dot name is equal to level, and level dot value is equal to 1. Now we're going to do game dot players dot player added. We're going to connect a function to that, and we're going to take the player that is joined into the game. We're going to clone the leader stats. So player stats equals leader stats clone. Player stats dot parent is going to be equal to player to the player, and that should set up the leaderboard. So let's press the play button and see what happens. That did not set up the leaderboard. What did I do wrong here? Created a folder, set its name, player stats, it's a clone, set it to the parent. Oh, duh. I didn't set the parent of the level value to the leader stats. So level dot parent equals leader stats, and now it should be set. Yep, and there's our level. And so we have this level door, and what we're going to want to do is have it only be able to pass through when it is when your level is a certain requirement. So let's add an attribute, which will be our required level. And let's set this to 1 for right now, so that it will work when we go through it, since we set our level to 1. Let's add a script to this level door. Local door equals script.parent. If door, or when door is touched, we're going to connect a function to that event. Gets past the hit parameter. We're going to make sure that it only activates when a player hits it rather than something with a humanoid. So local player is going to be equal to game.players get player from character hit.parent. And then if it was a player, it will exist in that parameter. And if it wasn't a player, then this variable will be nil. So we're just checking to see if it existed and if it was truly a player. And if it was a player, we're going to do door.canCollide equals false. Door.transparency equals 1, or more like 0.5. And then we're going to do task.wait, like 5 seconds. You can change that value, but then we're going to set it back to what it was, which was canCollide and completely visible. So this is a very basic script, and it won't work completely because we need to debounce it so people can touch it multiple times. So we only want it to activate once. Oh, also, this is only doing it for anyone that touches it, and it's also doing it on a script. So I should probably do it on a local script. Not sure if local scripts run in the workspace. I don't think they do. So first, let's just make sure that this works. Local activated equals false. If player and not activated, then activated equals true. And at the end, activated equals false. So let's test this out. This isn't checking for our level yet. This is just to see if it lets us through. Oh dear. I forgot to anchor it, so let's anchor it and make sure that it does go back to being solid and does not fall through the floor. Okay, cool. And it should change back. Yeah, it does. And yeah, it just lets you through. So now let's make sure that the level is correct. So the level is found within the player and their local value of, or their level leader stats. So let's find the leader stats first. Local leader stats equals player and player find first child leader stats or nil, and then local level equals leader stats find first child level. Well, first we need to make sure leader stats exist. Leader stats and leader stats find first or nil. This just makes sure that if level exists, then it will find it. So we're going to do if player and level and not activated. So we're making sure level exists. And now we also need to make sure that level is the right value. We also need to pull down the attribute we set on the door itself. So level required equals script, well, door, get attribute required level. So this is pulling the attribute we set on the door, which right now it's 1. So the level required is 1. So now what we got to do is check to see if the level we find is greater than or equal to, the level required of the door. And so, yeah, so this will make sure that it only activates when the level requirement is met. So let's run this and, okay. Issue, we are apparently comparing a number to an instance. This is the instance. Right. Level is an int value. So what we need to do is get level dot value here. And that should be the fix for that error. And yep, it does let me through. We can also lower the time it takes for the door to go back to being transparent, which can be 3, I guess. And the last thing we want to do for, we want to check to see if the level requirement works. So let's set the level requirement to above our level, which would be like 2. And if we set it to that, then our level is lower, so it shouldn't be able to go through. Perfect. Now, the only thing that's left is that the problem still lies that if someone else was a high enough level, they could get through. And if I followed them in, I'd also be able to get through, even if my level isn't correct. So what we'll want to do is make this completely client. And you might think that that would be easily hackable, which it is. But if we've got a hacker that can change a local script, we've also got a hacker that can teleport through the door, even without this being a client script or a local script. So you can complain about hackers being able to open the door, but they're going to be able to get through anyway. So might as well make it easier and make it so that other people that aren't hackers but aren't their level shouldn't be able to get in. I'm talking a lot, so let's just actually code that. What we're going to do is we're going to copy everything from this script here. And what we will do is make it inside the starter player. It's going to be inside the starter player scripts, and we're going to insert a local script. We're just going to paste everything we had in that script here. And so then, nobody, for real, my bad. So we have the door. What do we need to change? So we're changing this from a server to a client. So how did I learn how to script? I learned through trial and error, a lot of YouTube tutorials, and just trying to make my own games. I started very simple games. Like, I guess I did try to make rock, paper, scissors one time, but one of them was just an obby. I just learned how to teleport players. And that was like 5 years ago on Roblox when I learned to script. So, and I also just looked at the manual for Lua, which was terrible, but it taught me a little bit. It takes a lot of time to start understanding the basics of programming. And the best thing you can do is just get into Roblox Studio and just start scripting as much as you can, as much as you know. And as you script, you think, oh man, wouldn't this be cool? And you try to learn little aspects here and there, and you add it to your knowledge base, I guess. The biggest mistake you can make is try to do a project that's too hard for you, because I did that one time where I tried to make a full-fledged game when I wasn't ready for it. And I actually started learning bad habits from that of coding, because I didn't understand what I was doing. So I thought it was working, but it really wasn't. It was easily hackable game, and it was just a complete failure. And that didn't help me per se, but it did kind of wake me up to realize that I needed to start out smaller. But that was a waste of several months, I'd say. But I can't say it was a waste, though, because I learned a lot from those mistakes I made. But yeah, just start slow is my recommendation. We get the player touched, hit. Okay, so we have a local player since this is a local script, so let's get that. And make sure that the player, if player and player equals local player. Whoops. So we're making sure that the local player is the one hitting it. And then it should work. So let's make the door, level door, a required level of 1 so I can go through it again. This stream is very long. It's going to end very soon. Oh, why is it doing... Oh, it's because it's not in the door anymore. Okay, so door is not script.parent anymore. It's workspace.level door. That should fix that error. And now, yeah, it lets me through. Cool beans. Let's just make sure that the level is still working. So let's set the level requirement to 2, which is 1 above my level. And it doesn't let me in anymore. And for the final test of this live stream, let's test with 2 players in the server, in a local server. So I started up a local server where I have 2 simulated players going on here. So, whoops, I made a mistake I started this too soon. So I'm actually going to cancel out of this. I'm going to clean that up. What I want to do is when we create the level, I want the players to be different levels than each other. So how I would do that is just set the player number, their level, to what order they come into the game. So player number plus equals 1. Leader stats dot level dot value equals player number. So now the first player that joins in the game will be level 1. The second player that joins in the game will be player level 2. I'm only doing this for testing purposes. Of course, you would not do this in a real game. Let's make the level door. So the level door should be level 2 requirement. So one of them should be able to make it through and the other one can't. So let's start that 2-player server again. Oh, I'm not working on lightsabers now, am I? I'm just going to remove that text. Whoops, let's go back. Okay, so here is the 2-player server. That didn't work. That did not work. It did not work at all. Any server errors? Nope. Just didn't work. That's weird. Oh, and I know why. Goodness sakes. Let's clean that up again. And I need to set it to playerstats.level.value. Not leaders, because I was taking the global leader stats. Let's start that again. Final time, probably. Hopefully I don't make that many mistakes. Okay. Oh, they're still joining. Okay. Roblox Studio. Here we are. So yep, player 1 is level 1 and player 2 is level 2. So I can't, as player 1, go through it. because it's a level 2 door that we set. But this character should be able to. And yes, he is able to, and this player is still not able to at all. He's actually really sad. It looks like he can just walk through. To the other player, it looks like I can just walk through a solid block, and he can't, which is just unfortunate. And that, a rebirth system, that is a good idea. I will explain it. I will put it down as an idea, but I will also explain it real quick here because you asked. A rebirth system is literally usually just a number. You have a rebirth number, which is usually starts as 0 or maybe even 1 if you want to start it, if you count it as 1. But you just have a number that you save as with the player, and then usually rebirths give you bonuses, right? So either you gain things faster or you unlock privileges that you couldn't before. So you could almost think of it as a level where this level door only allows me to go through when I'm a certain level. Well, some things would only be accessible if your rebirth level is a higher number. Usually rebirths are like, if you have 100,000 coins, then you can rebirth, and you would just reset all your other values to 0 back to, or how it usually starts when you first play the game. And then you just increase the rebirth level or value up by 1. And you can also, for like, let's say you gain gold twice as fast, or, you gain gold faster the more rebirths you have. You would just, whenever you increase the gold amount or whatever currency you have in that game, you would just also multiply it by your rebirth level. So then it would scale. You can scale it differently. You can scale it linearly. You can scale it how usually people do it is you scale it exponentially. So then someone who's rebirth 10 isn't just gaining it 10 times faster, but maybe 100 times faster. So it's literally just a value that you index whenever you need something to be different for different rebirths. It's actually way simpler than it might seem, and it's actually really easy to reset people's values back to 0 and remove their inventory if they rebirth, stuff like that. Just a value you save, and some games you do see what rebirth people are on, so it could be like a leader stat that you save and load when you join in the game and leave. It could also just be a hidden value that the players never really see, but they can rebirth. They know what it does. I think the rebirth system would be a great idea for a full-fledged video, like just one video on such a topic. Maybe if I made a game, I could make like a series where I make, what kind of games usually use that? Like simulator games, right? Is that what they're called? I could make a whole series that like kind of goes through that whole concept of a simulator game, I guess. So that's an idea for a full-fledged video series. I think that's the end of how I'll explain it just in this live stream. But it was a really good question, and I hope I explained it adequate enough for some level of understanding, I guess. Oh, Tycoons also do that. Yeah, you're right. Tycoons would be a other game that would do that as well. So I will think about how I would make a series like that for future. I will live stream. So this is the end of the live stream, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and everyone that joined in throughout the live stream. I thank you as well. I will live stream next week, same time, maybe not as long because this was pretty long, but I will live stream again next Saturday. I will try to think if there's any other days I can live stream so I can get through this list a bit faster. More videos to come. The next video probably won't be for my NPC tutorial, but it will be like another tutorial that you guys can check out if you want. We'll see what that is. I might start the series for making a full-fledged game, who knows. Stay tuned for all the future things. Yeah, you guys have been great. We almost hit 1,200. I might be there Now, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at my subscriber count, but I know we were 4 off before the live stream started. I'll see you guys next week and come with more ideas, and we will start off with the crafting system. Oh, let me switch that real quick. The crafting systems first next week, then the seek-based chase tutorial. That's not going to look anywhere near the level of detail that Doors has as the game Doors, but it will be a chase sequence tutorial. So, you know, it'll be basic. And then hopefully we'll also get to the jump scare next week as well. So that's it for next week, and that's it for this week. So, guys, you've been great. I'll see you in the next live stream. See ya. As I try to find the end stream button. There we go. See ya. Oh, I didn't end it yet. I think this is the last time. See you guys.